Right, this is the weapons cupboard. This is where we keep all the weapons. An example of one of the knives we'd use. It's known as a sickle. Proper metal. This is a barbed wire, of course. It's pretty sharp. This is the best sort of barbed wire because it's thin and it can wrap around stuff easily. Right, this is a barbed wire bat. Of course, wrapped in barbed wire. I would hit that across the back, maybe the head sometimes. Then, one of my favourites is the light tubes. These are pretty cool when they break. Loud bang you get, loads of dust.
What is all this for?
Oh, God! Oh, God!
It's the end of another school year. Some kids are off on their holidays with their parents, others are getting jobs in McDonald's or Tesco's. But there are some teenagers who are planning to spend their summer engaged in far more dramatic pursuits.
Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit!
All three men on the outside of the ring right now, like you said.
Wrestling is a billion-dollar industry. In America, there are dozens of professional wrestling federations. Most produce their own videos and TV shows. Each broadcast is preceded by a warning. Don't try this at home. For the last 15 years, kids across America have been trying to emulate their favourite wrestlers. They call it backyard wrestling. But recently, professional wrestling has taken a spectacular twist. Now, some wrestlers use bizarre and dangerous weapons.
This is brutal, this is sick, this is sadomasochistic.
Consequently, backyard wrestling has followed suit.
Oh, Jesus! Jesus!
In America, backyard wrestling, or BYW, is widespread and well known.
Oh! Holy shit! Holy
But in the UK, it has gone largely unreported.
EC-dub!
Images of British backyard wrestling on the internet depict a violent and disturbing sport. But is this craze as dangerous as it looks? And what kind of boys and girls are getting their kicks from doing things like this?
Introducing first, weighing in at 232 pounds, the Scottish Pride, Dickie Dynamite!
Every Saturday, an abandoned golf course near Newport becomes the arena for a backyard wrestling federation known as NLW.
He is the commissioner of NLW!
No Limits Wrestling.
193 pounds!
In the beginning, it was just me, Dan. At dinner times, we used to just wrestle on the. We used to have like real wrestling, like amateur shoot fights.
But at the time, it was like just me and Dan,
Yeah.
and then on weekends we just get together and just got bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah, we got fans, everything.
Who's your favourite wrestler here?
Kyle. Roadkill. He's just insane. Yeah, just don't care.
Have you ever taken these wrestlers home to meet your mum?
Yeah.
Marriage material?
Yeah.
Backyard federations like NLW base their events on professional American wrestling shows with fans, cameras and commentary.
Reverse back is going to be snapped after that.
And just like pro wrestling, backyard is a performance.
Every move you do, you've got to, in
Gotta have
wrestling
impact,
terms,
yeah.
wrestling terms, you sell, you act as if you're in pain. See, it's a submission move, twisting the angle, you've got to act as if you're in pain. That's when you most sell.
Oh!
I don't know if anyone knows this, but people, like, all the way through the match, you're talking under your breath to communicate.
And when you've got someone in a headlock, you just whisper to them. You'll grab them like that, and you'll just pretend you're trash talking. You'll start trash talking to them, and then just whisper the what move.
Test the strength,
Through whispers and trust, the wrestlers produce a match in which all the moves are entirely consensual. The trick is to make it seem as painful as possible.
It's thumbtack time! We tease! My God! Oh my God! They're in his arm! They're in his arm!
Holy Mary!
Holy shit! Holy shit!
I refuse to swear!
Holy shit!
Will he please? Oh my God! Oh my God! No!
Oh my God! Oh, they're in his arm! Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! Holy shit! And now, Frosty,
oh my God! One, two,
not this
three, no! I'm Billy! Listen, you ever get Frosty, how are you, son? Come on, can you hear me?
New world champion, baby! New world champion!
Frosty! 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 Frosty now, he's busted open!
Did you know he was going to slam your head into the
Yeah.
thumbtacks?
When we do it, he didn't put much pressure on it. He just rests his head, and I have to headbutt it, so it just smells like.
You're right.
Yeah, I'm just a bit tired.
Right.
Like, I didn't think I was actually going to do it, but he just said, Petey, quick, ram my head in it. So I said, all right, I got no objections.
Drawing pins, or thumbtacks, have been used in American pro wrestling for about 5 years. It's one ingredient of a style known as hardcore. Not all backyarders practice hardcore wrestling, but those who do use weapons such as road signs, glass tubes, and barbed wire.
I was about 12 years old when I started backyard wrestling. I've done a lot of things. I've fallen off a roof, been hit with light tubes, been popped through flaming tables, including using thumbtacks, light bulbs. I've dislocated my finger once, 3rd-degree burns on my arm. I've been cut by a light tube only on bare skin, and one I've had over my head which cut open my head once.
Jimmy Birch was once one of the most hardcore backyard wrestlers in the country. But then his dad found out.
I came home one day, put my car in the garage and found a box of B&Q value light tubes. And I thought, where have they come from? And I said to James, where have they come from? He said, oh, B&Q. I thought, oh, it's a standard answer, isn't it? What are they for? And he said, wrestling. I went, and that's when it really kicked in. And that's when we had the chat about not using it. So when it comes to things like light tubes, then when I say I don't want them, then I make sure that he understands that, and he doesn't use them. Whether he does or not, as I say, I'm 99.9% sure he wouldn't.
Jimmy has agreed to give up light tubes, but perhaps the most disturbing activity in wrestling is known as blading. The voluntary cutting of a wrestler's forehead with a razor blade to produce blood for dramatic effect.
Sometimes you can use little blades, and you can use whatever's sharp really, then just like say, cut yourself. Sometimes you get drips of blood, sometimes you don't get any. And it's just luck really.
And do you do that?
Sometimes, yeah.
I'm finding out more now of what he's doing, obviously, than he's ever told me before.
What did you think about the razor blades?
Oh, I'm horrified, absolutely horrified. You've not only got the cuts and their self-mutilation, which I think is appalling anyway, but you've got the dangers of contamination and infection.
Is it worth trying to stop him?
I think so, yes. The trouble is, I'm an adult, and trying to tell children it's very difficult because often they don't listen, do they?
I will keep blading. because to just make the crowd more boosted and gets them a lot more into the match.
Backyard wrestling has been going on in Britain for the last 10 years. Most federations start with a few mates mucking around on the school field. But the more dedicated backyarders are the ones who create their own websites.
What I'm doing now is you've got to clip everything, all the good wrestling moves, and then make the movie on Windows and Movie Maker, and then we'll post it on the forum, send it to everybody. It's just good, all the backyard feds being able to see what you can do. It's what can make you get big in backyards.
The British backyard internet scene is a small world, inhabited by 20 or so federations. Groups of teenage boys from all corners of the country. In the real world, backyard wrestling is condemned by parents and scoffed at by classmates. But on the internet, a backyard wrestler can be a superstar.
I film me wrestling because it's showing other people across the whole world what you can do and to get noticed out there.
Jimmy Birch has been posting his work on the internet for 4 years. He's earned himself a reputation.
So to be described as a legend is big, really, because it's saying what you've accomplished, and for people to follow in your footsteps, it's something really amazing.
But Jimmy isn't quite at the top of the ladder. His good friend Dan Selby has been backyarding since he was 9.
When I look back at my old stuff, it's mainly good memories. A lot of it does tend to suck, but there's really good memories there, and just knowing that's where I started all of it out, and this is where I've come today, it's quite cool.
Oh my God!
Throughout the backyard, Selby to everyone is a legend, and no doubt about that. Selby is probably the coolest guy you'll ever meet.
In my opinion, Dan Selby is a UK backyard legend. He's been through it all. He's a really, really good wrestler. Apparently, everybody who's ever wrestled him has come out with a good match.
Oh! Fuck! Being a backyard legend is pretty cool, I suppose. It's really nice to actually, finally gain respect from people, because all along I've looked up to other people and think, maybe one day I can get respect off of everyone, and it's cool to finally be respected. It's really nice.
Backyarders across Britain come together on a website known as the Forum. It's here that the reputation of each wrestler is decided.
Well, the UK BRW Forum is basically a website which enables everyone to speak to each other, post their views, and post videos and that, and it's good because it keeps everyone as a community, as one.
But the forum community is highly competitive, and when a new fed posts their movies, the comments can turn bitchy.
We've had a few sly comments since we came on the forum about, just shut up, you Welsh, go and check some sheep, all that. That just kind of get annoying. But I think all the little comments have stopped now, haven't they?
No Limits Wrestling had been posting their movies for several months before they were taken seriously. The turning point came when they produced an MPEG featuring their best technical wrestling and extreme hardcore weaponry. After Cage of Death, there would be no more Welsh jokes.
Some people say I'm sick in the head. Truthfully, I don't think I am sick in the head. To me, sick in the head is slitting yourself and all that crap, but it's just entertainment.
The salt was stupid. In Cage of Death, after I took a light tube, I had salt poured over my back. That was painful. It was stupid. It's crazy.
Do you regret that?
I wouldn't regret it, but I wouldn't do it again. So I got a video now so we can watch it back.
I
No Limits Wrestling are now respected members of the community. But some federations have never been accepted by the Forum, no matter how hard they've tried.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Portsmouth City Wrestling Alliance, the longest running backyard fed in the country.
We're actually the longest fed going at the moment. For us to be able to go on 6 years, I think that in itself is a feat. The backyard wrestling for me is passionate. It's been going on for such a long time now, it's a part of my daily life.
James Joel promotes the Portsmouth City Wrestling Alliance on the internet. But despite their passion and longevity, PCWA have never been Flavour of the Month on the Forum.
I don't think the Forum has given PCWA the credit it deserves. We've churned out music videos quite regularly, and all the time they keep slandering us for what we do.
No! No! For the club!
Some federations wrestle man-to-man and specialise in technical moves. Others prefer hardcore, with harmful weapons like barbed wire. But to earn respect from the Forum, you can no longer rely on the shock value of hardcore alone.
Oh, shit!
Within the past few years, it's always been a bit of a show-off point. You know, the more barbed wire, the more you show off, the more respect you'll get. But, you know, recently a lot of people have matured and realised that a decent wrestling match is actually better than the more weapons you use.
That is barbed wire! Barbed wire!
Obviously, you don't get as much credit for doing some of the hardcore stuff, which is, if you're a big lad like me, and you don't know too much technical moves and stuff, it's kind of a bit of a shame, really.
James's wrestling style may be out of vogue on the internet, yet it's given him a certain confidence.
And look at the crowd! This is unbelievable! The crowd are going wild!
I believe wrestling's changed my life considerably. Certainly during my school years, I had problems with people bullying me and stuff like that. You know, just the way I look, you know, my size and stuff like that. When the kids at school saw my backyard wrestling, their opinions changed me, mainly due to the fact that we were doing some insane stuff. You know, barbed wire, fire, tables, glass. Those were the factors that made them change their mind. And those are the factors what we keep in our fed.
James is bleeding. He's taking his shirt off. He's bleeding. No! Not in the stinging nettles! No! No! Oh my God! 1, 2, 3!
This whole match is to prove to you guys that I can wrestle, I can take pain, and you should invite me to your other feds around the United Kingdom. See you later.
Gaining respect seems to be a common goal amongst backyarders. But the sport holds other attractions. In backyard wrestling, you can be whoever you want to be. All the Portsmouth backyarders have character names, but one member takes his character more seriously than most. Tom, also known as Blade.
I tend to think about my character when I'm not wrestling because it is that tiny bit of part of me. He's like a very dark person, and things scar him and emotions scar him, but he doesn't let it show. And he can feel pain and then he gets hurt, and he's like a real person. He's not some bit of fiction. He's like the other half of me. That's how I get all my pain and emotion out. Do it that way.
Was Tom as angelic as he looks in those pictures?
No, he wasn't. Trouble is, he's got rather a large mouth, a bit like his grandfather, regimental sergeant major. And Tom, you hear Tom before you see him.
Yeah, especially when he's drunk.
But then again, a lot of teenagers are 50 times worse than Tom. Never smoked. Well, he drinks now, but
he does pull the ladies. Though.
Yeah, he does. He is a jobber.
He's a bit of a stud.
I've
witnessed it in the pub. He is a stud. It's true.
I had a long-term relationship in real life as me with a girlfriend of mine, and she came to watch it quite a lot. And as we broke up, it actually, I didn't mean to, but it sort of just stamped itself, kept a mark on my character. After I split up with my girlfriend, I decided to make my character not talk. And it never got into a storyline where, you know, he's just broken up with his girlfriend, that sucks. But they could see it, and that's when my character got a lot more... Me as a person, I got a lot more darker.
All wrestlers have their specialities. Tom's, or Blade's, is jumping from heights.
when I'm about to jump off a table or get thrown on, the exhilaration's unbelievable. From the bit as you jump to when you land, you don't feel anything. It's a blank of nothingness. You don't remember you jumping.
Oh my God! Ah!
It's important to film the work because you don't remember that little jump, and then you can see it. You're like, ah. You know, that's like that little gap of life. I missed out. I'm able to watch again.
If my mum came and watched an event and saw Tom flying through tables, I do think she would have a heart attack. Definitely.
Well, I just watched 5 minutes of the video and thought I can't watch this because otherwise I wouldn't let them wrestle ever again. They are they're risky. They do risk their lives doing some of these stunts, very much so. I mean, the last time you came home and you had a very painful back, wasn't it? And when you went to work, you was complaining of backache. And so I'm almost like waiting for a phone call to say that Tom's been taken to casualty and broke his neck.
Most backyarders' parents face the same challenge. How do you stop a 16-year-old boy from doing what he wants? For some wrestlers, the only alternative to backyard is the chance to go professional. Dave Birch has brought his son Jimmy and fellow backyarder Dan Selby to wrestling school.
Come in, headlock, take it down. When you get it there, okay, turn the head in and leave the body. Excellent.
That's Mick McManus, the most famous wrestler ever in Britain here. And this is Johnny Cheslaw, the Polish Eagle. He's blind now, he's 74. This is an old poster, Cat Weasel. Cat Weasel's dead now, he died of cancer. This gentleman's Steve Logan, he died last month.
Johnny Quango was another one,
yes,
remember?
John's dead now.
Is he?
Yeah.
I was telling James about the old-fashioned wrestlers, but he's more into the up-to-date backyard wrestling.
Yes.
I mean, I know he's got a passion for wrestling, and I'll do anything to help him along in that career, providing he comes away from his backyard wrestling. The things that worry me are where they do, is it a suplex and they land on their shoulders and the back? It frightens the life out of me.
No, as long as he's learned to fall properly, then the moves within that are fine.
Well, I recommend that they forget the backyard wrestling, concentrate on the technical side of wrestling, because I think they could both be very, very good technical wrestlers. They've got the ability, and they've also got the mental ability to pick it up. So I think, yes, they could be very good.
Birch and Selby have made a decent start in pro training, but as backyarders, they've been developing their own moves for years. It's not often they get to show them off in a ring.
They was landing so badly. Your body can only absorb so much punishment, and if you're landing wrong, you can really do yourself some injury. As I commented on to him, I said, if you're still alive when you're 25, I'll be very surprised.
For all the shock of hardcore wrestling, the most dangerous thing a backyarder can do is land on the ground in the wrong way. Many wrestlers have close shaves to boast about, none more chilling than the event which Roadkill remembers so well.
Well, there was this kid, and this kid doesn't have the best of hearing. And I said gut wrench DDT, which is where you just drop them onto their head. They put their hands there to protect themselves. But he thought I said suplex, where you just throw them right over so they'll land on their back. Bad mistake to miss here on. So he went crashing right down on his head. If someone was to really get injured, I mean like life-threatening injury in wrestling, that's when I would call it quits, because I just wouldn't want to wrestle anymore. I'd just feel not right. Carrying on after such, like, say someone got paralysed, even died, couldn't go on then.
In this instance, the boy wasn't seriously hurt. Others have not been so lucky. In Canada, a backyarder recently broke his neck practicing a move. But most backyard wrestling injuries go unreported. Just 1 week after Jimmy Birch signed on at wrestling school, he took part in a backyard match. Jimmy wore a mask. The match lasted 5 minutes. As always, the event was videoed and commentated by the other wrestlers.
Oh my good fucking God, that hit painful. Table for two. Yeah. What the? Oh shit, you got an explosive barrel of TNT. Oh, take that, drummer boy. Are you faking that or are you being real? All right, let's go, go.
The other backyarders took Jimmy to casualty, where he made up a story about his wound.
What happened? I don't actually know. You don't actually know? What's the last thing you remember? Walking in my house. And what's the next thing you remember after that? Getting taken out of the car. Okay. I know I look stupid because I don't like this big bandage on my head. And then that's what I feel really. It hurt for a bit at first, but now the pain's gone. It'd be kind of weird. You're always going to have like a little bald patch in your head, and it's going to be there for the rest of your life.
The very next day, Jimmy posted a movie of the match on the forum. His wounding was the highlight.
In BYW, accidents happen. It's all part of wrestling, and if anyone asks how I done it, just say wrestling, and that's what I'm proud of.
During the school summer holidays, members of the UK Backyard Forum try to organise inter-fed wrestling events. This year, No Limits Wrestling in South Wales are planning the big event of the summer, Welsh Fest.
Hopefully the Welsh Fest is just gonna skyrocket us. We'll probably get quite well known after that, hopefully.
Or it could go the other way.
Yeah, it could go the other way. They might think, oh, you're really bad wrestlers. You just never know. Just wait to see what happens.
The boys from NLW have placed an open invitation on the forum. It's events like Welsh Fest which bring the forum community together. But some feds prefer their independence. One backyard federation in Newcastle distinguished themselves by their dedication to weaponry. They call themselves XHW, Extreme Hardcore Wrestling.
Sometimes people think it's very peculiar and strange that a girl's doing it, but most of my friends, people I know, just think it's quite cool, really.
Yeah? They think it's cool?
Yeah, they're like interested in it, they ask us questions about it and everything. It's something different for a girl, so I think that makes it good.
For the last 3 years, Joanne has been a hardcore backyard wrestler with XHW. As the owner of Extreme Hardcore Wrestling, Kyle designs the website, organises the events, and stores the weapons.
I have a favourite which I like to carry to the ring, which is known as the pizza cutter. Goes around my neck, that's why the string's attached to it. It's quite sharp. If it gets pushed into your head too hard, it would hurt. I think it's stained with blood. This is a mouse trap. These would go on the fingers. You'd spring it back and it would nip. Well, that's glass with pins on. You'd probably hit across the back with it.
Are you proud of your collection?
Yeah, quite. Wish it was bigger, actually.
How big do you want it?
As big as I can get it.
He's an interesting person, I think. Very interesting, because he was the one who told me about all this different wrestling. So until I met him, I didn't really know there was any other wrestling around. And he told me about it, and we've just been friends ever since.
Kyle introduced Joanne to hardcore, and along with the other members of XHW, they spent the next 3 years showcasing Kyle's ever-growing collection of weapons.
What do your parents think about the wrestling?
Well, they just see it as a hobby for us, so they're quite pleased with it, that I'm actually getting out and doing something, and that I'm not smoking and drinking or anything.
They know about all the glass tubes and all that?
Oh yeah, they know. I've showed them the pictures before and everything, so they're all right with it.
So what do you get from wrestling then?
I don't know, it just makes us feel like I'm doing something, like that I'm actually doing something with my life and not sitting at home wasting it.
Kyle's passion for weaponry is influenced by his collection of imported American wrestling videos.
Well, this is CZW, known as Combat Zone Wrestling. It gets violent at the best of times. Personally, for me, I prefer the more violent side of wrestling.
What do you like about it?
I don't know, it's just different.
It's time for XHW's next planned event.
We could do a headshot.
The Federation has seen better times and much bigger turnouts.
And how many people are there in the Fed?
8.
8? But there's just 2 of you today?
That's right.
You just help out?
Yeah, I'm not like wrestling with them yet.
You're going to be wrestling with them?
Hopefully, if I can get all the moves properly done.
What do you like about it?
Like, the way... Everything, really. It's all good. And it's like an action film, isn't it? What makes an action film good? This is just what makes wrestling good.
Doesn't it scare you?
Nah, it shouldn't hurt that much. I mean, you're only getting smacked or something, can't you?
Most of XHW's events take place in full view of Kyle's estate. No one complains, and it gives the local kids something to watch.
What's your favourite weapon?
The glass tube.
The glass tube?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't really know, it's just the way that the boy who's getting whacked doesn't get glass splinters or anything. I don't know how the boy who's getting hit doesn't go to bed with like this.
It's like I'm a different person when I put this on, so, you know.
Kyle has a wrestling character named Casey Rotten.
Casey Rotten, he's a dark character. He's behind a mask most of the time. He always wrestles hardcore matches. I don't think he's ever had a clean match without a weapon in it. I wasn't bullied at school. Normally just in the area I was bullied, but mainly because I wear glasses. Obviously that was one of the main reasons. They weren't too bad, it wasn't physically bullied, but I was just name-calling, really. I really enjoy being Casey Rotten because it's another character, somebody you wouldn't expect us to be. Casey Rotten beats people up with knives, light tubes. Kyle is a person who sits in the house, watches Trisha in the mornings, sits on the computer all day and just goes to town, really.
The apparently violent style of XHW is in keeping with Kyle's tastes.
It's me done.
Joanne, on the other hand, prefers cleaner, more mainstream American wrestling, and all that comes with it.
Been collecting them for about 3 years now. This is Jeff Hardy. I've got about 4 of him. He used to be my favourite. He used to be quite famous when he was in WCW.
So do you play with them?
Sometimes. As you can see, I still think I'm a kid with all my figures and everything. Sometimes I think I need to grow up, but sometimes it helps you relax. It makes you more of a fun person.
So you're not ready to be an adult yet?
Not really.
The average age of a backyard wrestler is 16, and many federations fall apart when its members come of age. The boys from the Portsmouth City Wrestling Alliance are all turning 17, and they still manage to keep their fed together. James Joel remains hopeful that PCWA will make it on the forum. He and his friends have been planning a midsummer's event called Ultimate Chaos, but a low turnout and a change of schedule has left them unprepared.
We could have probably practiced if we knew the situation before.
Yeah.
Yes, that
I know, man. We can work something out of it. Just don't look at all the bad points about it. It's all 3 of us, and I'll take out Tony, and I'll start on you and like I don't know, like kick or something. Go to do a power bomb, but I'm not going to go power bomb and wallop.
Taking a light tube shot requires practice and planning.
Oh, God!
And if there's one thing every hardcore backyarder knows, it's to guard himself from flying shards of glass.
Oh, bleeding on the arm. My fucking neck feels like it's been snapped into pieces. This is bleeding. I must have landed wrong when I went through that table because my neck kind of snapped.
The glass shot straight over. Just managed to move my head, otherwise it would have got all in my eyes.
Luckily for James, the broken glass only reached his arm, but the shock seems to have curbed his enthusiasm.
It's probably be the last event I've done now.
How do you feel about that?
Well, I would have felt a hell of a lot worse, but I think we've been going 6 years now, which is quite a long time. No one gives a shit about us anymore, so why should we give a shit about them? I spent all these years on the forum trying to make a difference and trying to change things, and nothing seems to work, so I don't know, I'm at the end of my tether now. You know, I wrestled because I wanted to show people what we could do.
Every backyard wrestler has to face giving up one day. Some simply grow out of it. Others bow to family pressure.
Some people think I'm scum. Some people think I'm a legend. I will tell you about my life in and outside BYW. I first started BYW around 1997 to 1998. To be honest, I decided to write my autobiography because there's something about you and you want to write about yourself and let people know how you feel and how you've done in your life. and I think this will be a first for a backyard wrestler to actually write an autobiography. I'm hoping I can eventually sell it and see if I can make any money from it, which is highly doubtful.
Jimmy Birch has decided to leave Backyard. He's announced his retirement on the forum. The Backyard legend says he'll quit at the end of summer and go to wrestling school instead. He's planning one last backyard match at Welshfest. Just one last match, he says. The world of backyard wrestling is run exclusively by teenagers. Putting on regular events takes organisation and passion. As backyarders get older, it becomes more difficult to keep a federation going.
Oh, this is a present for Kyle because it's his birthday today. It's just chocolates.
Do you always buy him something for his birthday?
Yeah, I got him something last year.
What did you get him last year?
Chocolates again, actually.
Thanks very much. Come in.
Kyle and Joanne are currently the only members of Extreme Hardcore Wrestling.
Does it matter how many people you have in your fed?
No, we'll get some good photos from just even 2 people wrestling for the website. So I'm not bothered how many people turn up.
But the future of XHW looks uncertain. Joanne has been attending professional wrestling classes every Sunday. Her technical skills have improved, and she's learning how to work a crowd.
And is the point of it to get the audience to dislike you?
Yeah, the whole point.
And you enjoy that?
Yeah.
Why do you enjoy it when they're all booing at you?
Because it means they're taking notice of you.
Wrestling schools love to convert backyarders to safer technical wrestling. Those who choose to wrestle with weapons often find themselves accused of giving the sport a bad name.
People are just going out there, kill themselves with dangerous things. I don't know what to do.
What's a dungeon?
If you watch someone that they're like unprofessional, if you see someone get set on fire, they hardly don't know what they're doing.
I just hate backyard. I can't stand it.
What do you think about all this, Carl? They just say it's
Their opinion. Yeah, well, they're my fans, you know. So, no, seriously. Entitled to their opinion. They don't like it. Fair. I like it. So, you know.
Wrestling schools like this are on the increase in the UK, offering backyard as an alternative. It takes big events like Welshfest to keep the BYW community going.
Today, this Welshfest, the biggest event in this year's backyard wrestling calendar.
It's all people from Newcastle, from Essex, from Kent. It's amazing how they can all round up together and make a big gathering.
So you two, how does it feel to meet each other finally?
Fucking great, isn't it? Really cool.
Yeah! It's like a massive festival, like Reading Festival the other week, I think it was. It's like it is today, but just BYW community and all this organised over the net. To me, that's pretty impressive.
It is the Nature Boy! Nature, you have one of the biggest men in backyard so far. What are your thoughts on this match? Have you got a chance in hell, goddammit? This thing, that size doesn't matter, but woo! That is, because the bigger you are, the harder you fall. In Hollywood fans, woo! Gonna be falling down, and I'm gonna be locking him in the figure 4 leg, like Nature Boy style. Woo!
So are you the oldest backyarder in Britain?
Yeah, most people probably stop by this age, but I still want to go. I'm
really enjoying it still as much as I always have.
When I look at you, I see nothing but an old, burned out, crippled piece of shit.
I think backyard wrestling in Britain is definitely getting smaller, and in about 5 years, I mean, there'll be people doing it, of course, but I don't think the forum will be around.
I also think it's getting smaller. There's always people seem to be quitting nearly every week now.
At the top of the Welsh Fest agenda is Jimmy Birch's last match, as promised.
The legend will be leaving today and we're all going to give him our send-off, big goodbye. He's going to be missed, I think, by the community, by ECW and everyone else. He's a good guy and he's a great wrestler.
It's really sad when some people leave backyard, because if you say don't live near them and say it was someone from Wales and I already see them coming when I come here, you don't actually see them again, and if you've made friendships and stuff like that, it's pretty sad when you have to see someone go, yeah.
Is this going to be your last match?
My last match, actually, no.
From the mean streets of Essex, England!
I don't know if I'll quit backyard wrestling, because it's like smoking. It's, for some people, it's like too hard to quit. Same with backyard wrestling, it's too hard to quit.
But obviously your dad wants you to give it up completely, doesn't he?
Well, he smokes, he knows, well, he must know that it's hard to give up, so it's hard to give up backyard wrestling. It's like my life.
Jimmy Birch! Jimmy Birch! Jimmy Birch! Jimmy Birch!
Backyard Britain is made up of small circles of friends, united by the internet. Teenagers with a single passion. It's not the wrestling these kids find hard to give up. It's the world that comes with it.
I remember the times when I used to be called wrestling in my school. In my lessons, I would be waiting for the bell to ring so I can run onto the field with my friends and wrestle. Sometimes we even got a crowd. This type of wrestling wasn't anything like little kids pretending to be Hulk Hogan or The Rock. This was a true sport and was being done all over the country. BYW has the best community in the world. It's amazing how kids aged 12 to 20 can arrange such events all over the country. In my words, it's amazing.